Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Chris. This is Stars Order 7. This is our updated schedule that is available for release. Links will be in the description and a pinned comment, as well as in the tips, tricks, cheats, and tutorials playthrough videos where we went over the releases and the full downloads, how to install everything, and make sure your game is fully up to date. Playing the starting mod, you do need that for these schedules to work, but yeah, everything up and guides to get everything installed and working, make things as easy as I can. And so we got the little brief overview of what to expect from this schedule. It's pretty much the base start date schedule on jumps, except a bunch of races taken out, a few conditions that had some issues, and some duplicates from the schedule, which just caused some issue. I have fixed a lot of the grade 1s that are titled G1 but aren't actually grade 1s. I think there was some kind of error in the syntax when things are getting put together, so we get a lot of things like this one, for example. This G1 wasn't a grade 1, so it's been turned into a grade 1. So, yeah, basically we've done a little bit of maintenance work, a little bit of messing about just to make sure everything ran well and consistently. Because when you're starting on starting mod, you're starting a jumps game, you might have noticed that it can crash quite a lot and it can be buggy, and sometimes it won't let you create a game, sometimes it won't let you edit the schedule. So we've done the maintenance to kind of put that together, and then came in with finding and grouping races together at the right parts in the schedule that made sense. So the Dublin Racing Festival, early February, and we've got 8 races at grade 1 for 4-year-olds or 5-year-olds up. There's not a ton of races for 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds just in the decent schedule because it's, it's jumps. You don't really start racing big races until 6, probably 7, more like 8 and up. So we have got those in. The Cheltenham Festival, we have highlighted the Cheltenham Gold Cup. There's a lot more prize money and prestige, and the meet kind of looks like this, and these are kind of the feature races in them. So again, like we highlight basically at Dublin, we highlight the Irish Champion Hurdle. At Cheltenham's Festival, we highlight the Gold Cup. And the Grand National at Aintree in April, we highlight the Grand National, which is now a grade 1, not a grade 3 handicap, just a grade 1 with a ton of prize money, and 6-year-olds and up, not 7-year-olds and up. So a little earlier chance to run and compete and test. And not only is this a good way for your horses to get big races and big grades, a little more prize money, a little more prestige, but also the game breds, which make it a more competitive scene, and they'll breed better because they'll be better horses, so they'll breed better foals, which in turn will then breed better foals. So the game world's getting tougher to play against. The game breds are now worth breeding from. There's a lot more grade 1 races, which means you'll be able to differentiate between those top horses, and not a lot easier because the rating system in the game doesn't really highlight that as well as you would expect. And then on top of that, 4-year-olds have a triple crown, starting at Ascot, moving through Cheltenham and Aintree from May into June into September. We've got the 4-year-old Guineas Juveniles to the Derby Juveniles and the St. Leger Juveniles. 5-year-olds have the Guineas Hurdles into the Derby Hurdles and the St. Leger Hurdles, and 6-year-olds and up have the Guinea Chase to the Derby Chase to the St. Leger Chase. In and around those, I have created my own National Hunt Cup meetings where basically there's a bunch of races at different distances for 4-year-olds, 4-year-olds and up, and 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds and up. Just basically trying to fill in distances that were missing big key races. And like I say, highlighting Ascot for the first meeting, highlighting Cheltenham for the second, highlighting Aintree for the third. I feel that's kind of the 3 tracks I would go after with the jump schedule. So pretty happy with that. Some big names kind of getting race named after them. The who's who really of chase and hurdling in UK. Couple of foreign horses, but all of them have done something in the UK and kind of deserve that little recognition. So yeah, that's kind of a little eye on things. So that's what you should expect to see on top of the default schedule in this game. So we've got a bunch of money. I've gone forward a year or two. I think a year in order to transfer all the horses in. We've got 8 in the breeding barn. They are all 2-year-olds apart from one 3-year-old. So these are the fillies that can't race yet, but Living Pot looks good. Starjur at 2 looks good. They've all got some extra speed and some potential. Some have other stats we like cruising burst, some don't. But they will grow over the years and become more useful to us. But before they're 4-year-old, we're not going to bother. We're not going to race them. There's just not really a point. 4-year-old, we can run the juvenile Triple Crown. We can also run a couple of the National Hunt Cup meetings, and there's also a few other races we can do, as well as novice hurdling just in general. So 4-year-old we can race, but before that we're not going to bother. But it does give us something for our 4-year-old season, the 5-year-old, 6-year-old, and then 7 and up. We kind of go back into the normal pathway of racing with the other big races, including the Cheltenham Gold Cup and the Grand National. So I feel pretty good about that. So it's going to take a while for these to get there, but you can see they're all kind of similar in terms of at least extra speed and potential. So they all look good. In the breeding barn is 3-year-old Braised Ham. Spoiler alert, you might be able to figure out who this is. Yeah, tons of potential, some cruise and burst extra speed. We're going to build him up and we're going to let him run and see how he copes with the 4-year-old Triple Crown, basically. That's going to be an interesting one. So we're going to test with other horses and figure out some details, but this year is a breeding year for Braised Ham. And yeah, you might be able to recognize a few other names and figure out maybe some of them where they've come from. Yearlings, there's 13. And again, a lot of these have been bred from horses that you'll probably know from our previous jump save, as well as our American flat save. Apart from these bottom 3, which come from an Australian breeding save some years ago. But they are pretty good horses too. Now, they come from a flat save, but their bar wide and also jumping speed on Viking Scald especially looks really, really good. So this trio should be okay. And mix in with the horses that we've bred from more recent saves, which look quite decent. So we've got 13 yearlings, we've got 7 mares. We're breeding from Braised Ham this year. And then we've got all these horses in here, 8 different 4-year-olds we can run. We've got 9 in the field, 3 3-year-olds. We do have Sweet and Sour, who should turn out to be a really nice 4-year-old. Crystal Verdict, another very solid high extra speed 3-year-old. We'll see what they do at 4. And Lockkeeper as well looks good, not great, maybe. Then 2-year-olds, again, a lot more kind of unknown. Because, yeah, you don't know how they're going to look at 3 and 4, and it could be just so random in how much or how little they develop over that time. So, yeah, very much interested to see how it all plays out. But some look really good, some not so much. And like I say, that can change. But we've got next season at least another 3 colts and a filly. So we'll have 4-year-olds, plus Brazingham coming back. So that's 5 in total. That should give us a good 4-year-old group. Yeah, these are also pretty good. And feel free again to pause at any time. Purple Searcher, with that potential bar and with this kind of name, you might be able to figure out at least the dam that's come from. Yeah, Allegro just doesn't look great, to be honest with you. I did buy it in this here, but I'm actually going to get rid of them because we just got much better options. And to be honest with you, I don't need to run horses that aren't great. We bought Kinetic Lobster. That one isn't really going to work out too. Dramster is back. I'm interested to see if people know who that is. This would be a weird one if people can tell which horse this is. You might be able to tell from just that stats, but the name might put people off. Dramster is a slight change, but you can probably kind of get. I did buy Reed. I don't love Reed. We're gonna get rid of Reed. And Caracan again. If you know what Caracan is from, what IP Caracan is from, then you can figure out an alternative almost name and pick the horse that it was before we made the transfer. Because I have changed names. But yeah, just a lovely horse. And there's reasons why I've selected who I have selected for this. Because a lot of these are good flats horses that we really just want to know if they can jump. That's it. And so I figured early on while we're getting things set up, a lot of these 2-year-olds are actually from the previous sim. They're the yearlings that we had, basically. Yeah, they're the yearlings that we had at the end of the last game and a couple that we stored previously. And so all the 2-year-olds have gone into the breeding barn or the field. And then all the 4-year-olds and the 3-year-olds are horses I've brought over to test in the juvenile Triple Crown and the National Hunt Cup. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very, very interesting. Yeah, Windy doesn't look terrible, but I'm gonna say no. I don't really want to run thousands of horses every season. This group's going to be interesting, but I think that'll pare itself down quite a lot by the time we get to 4. And people will be ending up in the breeding barn. And like I say, I've got, 6 in there and 6 out here. So 2-year-olds, I've got 12 again. We'll probably lose half of those. We'll have 6 by the time they get to 4 years of age. I think that's fine. So, yeah. So Purple Searcher, I think the clues are there to figure out who that is a fall of. Peanut Butter is a stretch, but could figure out. Drumster isn't that hard. And Caracan, like I say, once you figure the connection, you'll know that you have the right answer or not. Who's ready to race first? Caracan and Purple Searcher will be. That's peak fitness, a little short of work. Okay. So probably Purple Searcher first. Yeah, you're the only 2-miler we have, which is absolutely fine. So I think 7th of January isn't a bad one for you. 11th of January at 2 Mile 2 seems to fit. Maybe we try Peanut Butter at 2-3 on the 23rd, and then move to 2-4 and come up on the 27th. That might work for me. That might work for me. I have gone through and added top horses to my list, so if they come up to auction, we will know. I have gone ahead and chosen my jockey and my apprentice. The apprentice isn't bad, isn't very good. My jockey is pretty good. So we got Tom Scudamore riding for us. I know the only one I wanted that I couldn't get was Sam Coulthard. I think Sam is the best in the game. Has already been retained by Mickey Hammond. So if I do switch, if I'm able to switch, maybe we switch to Sam. But Tom is very good. And we got a list of, again, jockeys that we can go down, like 5 or 6 that we can go to. And then beneath all of them, my apprentice is good enough for a rider too. So if Sam ain't there, we can make adjustments as we go. But that does mean we can also skip forward into the schedules a little bit along the way too. And we can start looking for sires that we like as well. So not too many in the way of winners. I will say that. Some lightly raced horses of age. And again, you got to remember, we're not really starting racing till we're 6, 7 anyway. So a few of these haven't really done much. You can see by the rating. Only one that's done anything. But here, 6-year-old, 1-3 of 9, 142 rating, and a grade 1 win, which was at the Derby Hurdles at Cheltenham. By 6 lengths. Interesting. Okay. So, Spinner's Flight. Not bad. Grade 1 of money on both sides. Like the sire. Oh, I like the dam. I like the dam coming from this bloodline. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Like Phantom Money, I know. I do know. Honorable Supreme, we've also got listed. Down Tamberlane, we'll link in here as well. Not run spectacularly well. Kind of juvenile. And then not amazing after that. Came fairly close there. 2-3. Won the 5-year-old Guinea Hurdles. Okay. Derby Juvenile. Guinea Juvenile. So, okay, first, second, and then fifth in the Juvenile Triple Crown. So it's nice to see that someone was actually running that. And then you can see they went after the 5-year-old as well for a race. And then you can see after that, we're in the National Hunt Cup races that we run. So this is a horse that's running the stuff that we want horses to run. Did okay early. And then sort of age 5 onwards, maybe not as great. Picking up a little win here, but not as great elsewhere. But it's very interesting to see what horses are running, where, and how. And again, the more that we see running that way, the more we can kind of decide what indicators we're really looking for. Okay, second in some handicaps. Third in the hurdles orcs. Okay. Not terrible. A couple of grade 1 wins at least. With Mercury is a gelding. I guess you've just been breeding this season. Stayers hurdle win. The handicap hurdle win. Second in the network. Second in the long distance. I mean, it's not terrible. It's not amazing. Don't get me wrong, but it's not terrible. Yeah. And again, a lot of the National Hunt Cups, Stayers Hurdle is a solid place. So, okay. Yeah, we really like that horse. We really like that horse. Ooh, I kind of like that too. I kind of like that too. You haven't raced any of your foals. You haven't got any success. Just really these two. No money or grades on this side. But okay. So we've done all the due diligence in the world on these. The most expensive horse, we don't love the breeding. Some of the horses right in and amongst the amount of money we're paying, we don't love. There's a 3-4 pairing here, which I'd feel bad not going for. So seeing this is the first auction of the save, just know spinners I'm most excited for, Chambry second, and the other four are kind of the controls. Because there aren't any good indicators I can find. And you're paying like $250,000 for each. You're not paying crazy amounts for an unraced 3-year-old like you would be in America. So whenever you see something going high, you kind of know it quite a lot. So realize Melbourne just went super expensive, over double its reserve, whereas most things will go for somewhere around $250,000. But we got Chambry, a second choice, and it's good to know that our first choice is also going north of 6. And in fact, we're going to push it over 7. Oh, this one's going high quickly too. So, okay. I didn't see any reason to take this. A good sire, like, yeah, it doesn't realistically translate. My only issue now with getting rid of this is that's the first horse I've seen with battling qualities of any sort of quantity in years. We can breed potential in, we can breed cruising burst and extra speed in. Problem is, every generation we do, we've got a chance of reducing this battling qualities by quite a lot. Ooh. BQ Baby, I think, into the game pool. There's going to be a lot of testing done with this horse. There's going to be a lot of testing done with this horse. Yeah, that's a very interesting one. I'm really not sure. I'm really not sure on that one, kind of how I feel. Like, this one's easy. This one's just, I know, a nice little cheap horse. But to get battling qualities could mean something. The next cheapest, another cheap one is Chambry, who is our second choice. We're going to save them for the end. So Melbourne, a 3-4, came up big money. Yeah. Don't see why. And then I guess we work Massam's applause. Again, grade 1 on one side. Not terrible, just not very good. Happy to get rid of them. So, yeah. So you went on the list. You expired, you expired, you expired. That brings us down to our two then. So our number 2 choice that we thought breeding kind of pointed towards something was Chambry Cando. Don't love it, don't hate it, dislike that. So that one didn't work out. And the one that all the breeding came to, money on both sides, grade 1s on both sides. Also, grade 1s that have sired grade 1 winners. So there's definitely something in that bloodline. Is Spinner's flight gonna be anything interesting? No, it's not. Interesting, very interesting. So yeah, I mean, what we've learned there, I mean, not really learned, what we've confirmed there is it's always a bit of a gamble in the auctions, and you can try and read it for whatever signs you're seeing, but be prepared to be wrong. Basically. Okay. Purple Searcher is up first. We can go into the breeding after today. Tocester. A little novice hurdle. Should be okay. Got tons of potential already realized. It's got good extra speed. It's a short distance, so you shouldn't need a ton of cruising burst. Full finish, full consistency. Like, there's not too much that this horse is actually missing. High speed and acceleration bars. A poor start, but that's going to have a limited impact. And we do have a rookie jockey riding. The apprentice has got the reins, so it's a little bit of an allowance. So what's going to stop us from winning? That becomes the question. The rain? Sure. A little 2-mile novice for 4-year-olds across the hurdles. And Tocester. Is that how you say it? Tocester? Maybe? I don't think I've ever heard that one said. But we are going to start near the back against the rail. It's a lovely grey horse. We jump well to begin. We do power on to the front. We got Bizet Book up to Serafina Cerise. Suarez did Morlands together. Bizet Book. Coronado Mighty on screen with Destiny Dynamo. Smurfy Samurai in the green silks in second. I think we've just jumped okay. It hasn't really been that much of a test. We've jumped okay. We've definitely got a lot of speed. We've got a mile to go. We're over halfway now in the jumps. The field now starting to coalesce back down. You can see we haven't shaken anyone. We haven't lost anyone. I don't think anyone else has jumped surprisingly well. We are pushing out. You can see them dropping back. They're going to try and make a little bit of a push for this one. But jump number 8, and yeah, Coronado Mighty trying to come up for this one. But as expected, Purple Searcher driving up the field kind of together. Not a huge distance behind, but enough of a distance behind. And you can see that just start to finish, drove out from the back, cleared everyone against the rail, and then just stayed out ahead and saw off every single challenge. Purple Searcher with 7 lengths win. And yeah, almost now is at full ability / realized potential. So, yeah, that's really nice to see. That's really, really nice to see. Very low jumping bars, but really, you don't need a ton to be very effective. And in fact, it's better to jump everything okay than to jump a couple good and a couple bad. The more you mitigate the bad jumps, the better off you'll be. If you've got pace, you can make it up in between jumps, and you can fight for your finish. If you never jump poorly, you've always got a shot at winning the race, even if you never take a jump well and catapult. But yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to see. That's exactly what I did see. We got high quality horses. We got fun races. I don't know if they're going to get any distance for our Triple Crown attempts. That's going to be a totally different question to answer. That's going to be a totally different question to answer. That's absolutely fine. 1 of 1 up to Newcastle. Caracan, a little 2 mile 2 novice. I think this distance should be okay. A larger field. Only the only 4-year-old in the race. Again, though, I believe in the quality of the horse. Now, remains to be seen what we do on the track. But 2 mile 2, I think, suits, well, class 4 novice for 4-year-olds on the hoods. Like I say, a class 4 should be right on the money as a 4-year-old. 2 mile 2 should be right on the money for the stamina bar. Running his 5-year-old gives us our challenge. And they've never jumped before, so we'll kind of see how they handle that. But we are going to settle in at the back to begin with, and then start making our way to the front group, which is a large group. The field is sticking together. So far, so good, though. And then not a great jump from us. Wing Tula on the far side there does jump well. Now we're all going to go towards the rail and slowly start spreading out a little more, I feel. Lean Katie and Communicator Wolf. Williams Prize, Emuska Technohead, Larissa, and then Roxanne Attitude, Ridgewood, Grain, and Liza's Cornwall against the rail. Off-screen Medicinal Connection, Topcoat Mirage, and Shargan Rackham at the back. Us and Wing Tula kind of swapping lead back and forth. This is one where Caracan does have the pace. You see, we always go back and front on the flat, and then Wing Tula is a much better jumper and is coming into it. Half a mile from home. Reach coming up. Chargan has fallen at the back. He gets pulled back up by injury. Our first good jump, and now we're letting our pace on the ground go. Jump number 9 cleared. And Muska Reach wants to come for us. Doesn't seem to be catching. Doesn't jump that well either. And so powering from the line, as more injuries, 3 injuries in these races, we kind of push out. I feel like we kind of got the distance slightly wrong, but it does all work out. It does all pay off. 3 pull up with injuries, but it's a decent winning margin again as Caracan takes this by 7 3/4. Absolutely fantastic. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with that run. That feels like we got a lot right. I'm not sure if 2-2 fully suits. I'll normally read that as 2-2, so that's 2 miles. Move up to a 2-2. I'm going with 2-3 for peanut butter. And then 2-4 for Dramster. I think that kind of suits. This more 2-4. This could be 2-6. With more 3, 3-4. And then 4 and up. There's rough guides. So I don't think I'm too far off on these distances, but they're nice testers. And the fact that our first two have won by 7 lengths and then 7.6 lengths, I think is really, really nice. So, okay, Peanut is up next. Auction. If you've got anyone that's won majorly, not really. You've got Astro Moon. 1 grade 1, only 2 wins. Okay. So a little juvenile hurdle. Class 2 at 2-1. And then the St. Ledger hurdle Orcs. Yeah, it's not the worst in the world. It's not someone I feel compelled to breed from. Don't think there's much at that auction that like stands out to me. If I'm honest, but that's absolutely fine. We're just going to make sure that we're keeping on breeding. And again, if we do find horses that we like, their offspring, we can kind of follow them and just see kind of where they go. Lots of runs. Not like a ton of great horses. But yeah, they've won recently. Do I want to do that? Grades on either side, money on either side. High reserve. Yeah, like that's my best indicator. A ton of stamina. Some really nice things about that horse, but in general, no, not worth it. So yeah, total crapshoot at the auction, but I'm waiting for the breeders' auction. That's, I think, where you're going to find a few mares that have got graded wins that might have stats that you can race, but probably will just add to the breeding barn at the end of the day. So I wonder why Charlie's riding all our horses. Maybe Tom's just got all the bookings in. He is riding the joint favorite here. I don't love that. Yeah, peanut butter 2-3. I don't think's far off. And again, we're racing against older horses. We don't have our jockey on us. But I really like this horse, and I think Class 4 suits, 2-3 kind of suits. And even if we are the youngest horse in the field, it does not truly matter. We are going to start off near the front. And maybe a poor jump. Maybe we're always going backwards. Always buoyant, is dropping back. I know this horse is not a good jumper. I know that for a fact. So I'm not going to hold that against them. I know they're an amazing racer. So if we can spend a year or two learning how to jump a little better, like I say, negate that weakness, I feel that does give us a lot of chances here. So Moonab Overstreet at the front, Analogical Actress, Floral Macbeth, and Dance Boys. Just in behind, Visionary Exhibit, Rebellious Harry, Journeyman Mansour, Medal Treasure, The Dangerous Horse, Casey Wings, Kelly Briggs, Sharpen Drythe Judith, and Voskage Norlith in this race. Always buoyant, as we say, already out falling early on. We're at the front. We're not jumping too poorly. We're kind of in the right place. I'm trying to look for number 5, who seems to be off screen, but that is the horse I've been expecting to come up. Now everybody's going to start making their way, and the better jumpers will come up and fight with us. And there we go. And Casey Wings is a better jumper, but are they a better runner than us? Are they a better sprinter? Are they a more powerful, more controlled horse? Right now, it seems like they are. Bina Putter starting to struggle a little bit. Can we get a good jump? We can. We eat a little bit back of that ground in between us. But Casey Wings is going to take this. Our first defeat is going to be handed to from Casey Wings to Bina Putter. Pretty solid all in though. First run, no instructions, not our jockey. Guess the distance. And again, it didn't feel like we were miles away. Trip suited well. Yeah, that's going to be more difficult to check. But I will say early on, that's not bad runs from those 3. I feel fairly happy with it all said. I do feel pretty solid. Yeah, this is interesting. So, like, within 2 months, you go from winning the first leg of a 5-year-old Triple Crown to the exact same distance, exact same grade, almost exact same prize money. But now it's a little more open. It's 4 and up rather than just 5-year-olds, and you finish almost back of the pack. Really interesting. That to me is really interesting. You just look like you've only just started in the barn. Yeah. I don't feel like there's a tough I'll be missing if I skip on early auctions. I've gotta say, and I don't need to be super tight with breeding either, because yeah, we'll be done by March. I'm really interested to see how Dramster does. Can Dramster run? I know Peanut Putter might be the worst jumper we have. That's my expectation. So far we've had 2 that weren't bad though. I wouldn't mind this being another one. A little novice, 2-4. Again, we might want a little more distance, but I feel we're kind of on the money. We're not miles away from it. Not great first jump. Okay second, finding a little bit of room to run. The field's still kind of a little spread across the track, a little bunched up near the front, which normally sort of happens. Yeah, not a great jump there at 3. Maybe a little blocked off as well. A little short of room in places. Not really hindering us, but not allowing us to just jump carefree, maybe. And that's a poor jump. So yeah, I think Ramster might also struggle jumping then. Smoky Hotel up to Trigger Halaf. Daenerys Itra up front right now. Jill DeVoe, Smudger Wolf, Kidnap Milan, Wink Tula back again, Lavish Popcorn, Knockavine Silent, and Candice Bluebells. As we know, start heading down towards the last half a mile. We're going to go out to the front. There is pace in this horse. We know it can't jump, but if it jumps okay or it jumps good, we should be okay. Candice and Knockavine, both I think injured rather than falling. We're controlling this one at the moment then. Starting to push out now over the field. If they can't catch you, it doesn't matter if they can jump better than you. Smoky Hotel with a nice little leap forward then. Running uphill, the final jump. We jump it okay, they jump it okay. And Drumster's just going to be able to push out and just use the raw power. No jumping technique. No jumping style. No training. But we didn't jump poorly too often. And it's just the sheer power of the horse that got us through the rest. So I will take that from 4 runs, a 4.4 length win, a 7 length win, and a 7.6 length win. And then a second place by a little distance, but yeah. Seeing as none of them have jumped before, we didn't struggle that badly. I feel pretty good about those opening runs. I do feel pretty good about those opening runs. So I'm happy. I was going to say just to run another to test, but then, like, first week in February, there's Ireland. It's not just the Dublin Racing Festival, there's other races. Do we dare? 2 mile, juvenile, grade 1 hurdle. And we won a novice decently well. Do we just full send the juvenile hurdle? We got a full barn, high extra speed, and like horse quality should be right, distance should be right. It's a 4-year-old only race. I think these shots are something that makes sense to take. 2-2 again. I kinda liked. I'm not gonna lie, I kinda liked them. There aren't races here to test. Don't think there's any 2-1s this early. So yeah. We think we can get 2-1. Finesse juvenile hurdle? Maybe? Maybe. Maybe. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. And then we can kind of line up Dramster somewhere around 2425. I think does suit. It's a couple of 4-year-old plus. Don't love these 2 5s. Might be best. And then Beanut, no extra. Would maybe suggest to me we want a touch less distance. I feel like this is telling us we're close. We went 2-3. I'd normally want to go 2-2. I do feel that that's kind of what it's telling us. I feel that's kind of what it's telling us. We are learning as we go. 100% we are learning as we go. I'm sorry, that's 20 and a half furlongs, right? That's what it says. That's not just me. That's like 2.5 miles, basically. And then 25 and a half is a little over 3 miles, which is what its indicator is. So why is this 3-year-old filly breeding indicator saying 2-4? Like it's slightly more than 2-4. And it's slightly more than 3-1. So surely this should come out to like 2-6, maybe 2-7. I find that so intriguing. Not enough to buy. I think we've kind of learned a little bit of lessons on that right now. But yeah, the breeding indicators again make a lot more sense to me sometimes. You see where they get it from on the flat save. Sometimes on the jumps, it doesn't quite line up. Yeah, not sure we're booking the right races. I don't know how much we can push, how early, etc. But for a 4-year-old race like this, I think we can. We can certainly try. So we did win our last outing. We don't have our jockey on board, do we? No. But because we don't have our jockey, who is in this race, we get the best jockey in the game who was just not booked. That's fine. We've seen this horse run well. We know we're only up against 4-year-olds, and we got the best jockey in the game. Let's see if 2 mile 1 is right. The JCB Finesse Juvenile Hurdle, G2, C2 Juvenile, 4 years of age, Caracan, runs today. We start at the back on the outside, quickly make up a little bit of room, and we move up alongside the leaders after that first jump. Bank of 4 and a bank of 3. Ourselves, Picture Rosa, get up to the front, joined there by CeeLo Rainbow in the white silks. And our warning, Bredania Fontaine Famcred Nala and Luso Raider complete the field. We are going up into the lead here. The other white cell, like I say, that is ridden by Tom Scudamore, our retained jockey. Unavailable because he took this booking before we decided to run Caracan in this race. So expect him to ride a solid horse there quite well. Coming up now, 4 from home. Caracan has real competition. So Luso Raider going clear. Underheart Waning is coming through as well. Still got a couple of jumps. Still got a little bend here to run. And then we can drive for the line. Do we have any kind of fight back? We're going to move to the outside. That's usually a good sign that we do want to come through. But do we have the power? We have what it really needs is heart, and we have that. But do we have the power? Do we have the speed? Do we have the stamina to make this work? Do we have the jump? We kind of do there. And Waning falling back. Caracan now starting to storm on through. Jumped well, pushing out, getting up, not dropping off, getting clear past Luso Raider. And a tough fought victory there by the time we get to the line. Leading out, getting caught, getting past, not giving up, digging deep, striking for home. And at the post, by about a length and a half, Caracan wins the first race of note. It's not much. It's 18 grand. But it felt like a good race. I like that. I do actually like that. I feel that came through quite nicely. We didn't have it all our way. Definitely competition, but there was a meaningful reason to be in that race. It wasn't just a normal race. And we ran it well. We did what we needed to do. And even when we looked like we were beat towards the end, we came through, we got the job done. That's what I want. I want something meaningful for the 4-year-olds to run. And we're starting to build up now and test, because May is going to be the start of the Triple Crown. So who's in that range, I don't know. Have your say. But I think it's going to be very interesting finding out and seeing what our pathways to that are. You're an okay horse. You haven't foaled anything of note. Most runs looks like 11 with 2 winners. It's not exactly the most impressive. Wow, you love the Monksfield. You're not very good at it, but you've run it twice. You have won 4 of 8. You've won 4 of 9. We've got a grade 1 and there's 2 of 5 here. So limited racing, but like some consistency. But yeah, I think it's all about bloodlines with racing, right? It's all about bloodlines. Again, I don't feel like any of those are amazing. So I'm going to feel kind of okay just backing off them. We're into February. We've only got 2 more to breed as well. So we've already done 5. We've done 4. This is 5. 2 more to go. And then we're kind of done. And the trip I didn't expect to make, but does make sense to me. Purple Searcher in the juvenile G1 hurdle. We've already won a G2, which should have been a grade 2, but isn't set up that way in the schedule. The G1 hurdle is a grade 1 race. The only foreign horse in the field. There's a high rated. that has some good form. 4 wins out of 5. There's some good form here as well. Very, very close to a lot of wins. We're a little bit of the outsider, unknown, but we should be respected, and we are being. We are coping well, lean and ready to go. Pretty much the best paddock out of everybody here. And yeah, a couple of people do like Arrow Brave Traveler. Joint favorite with us, the high-rated horse. 1 out of 4 out of 5 tipsters say that's who your money should be on. 4 out of 5 say us. I feel we could win pretty big here. Tattersalls Juvenile G1 Hurdle, Class 1 Grade 1 for 4-year-olds over 2 mile. Here at Leopardstown, I believe. Dublin Racing Festival this time of year. Not just that festival, but across Ireland, some interesting races abound. Tom Scudamore will ride Purple Searcher in this one, and the grey against the rails is out quite nicely. From the pack towards the front to kick things off, an Arrow Brave Traveller is right there along with us. Back to Crafty Tweed, who stays at ahead of Matoka Price. More Maloka Golf, Puta Blanche, Katil Dancha, Circumvent Live, and Slave Susie. Not jumping too bad. Coming up to the halfway point in the jumps, and a little over a mile to go here on the back stretch. Arrow Brave Traveller just off our haunches. Matoka Price right there in third, keeping in position. Bad jump by Arrow Brave Traveller. They did not enjoy that one. That puts them back with a lot of work to do. And that keeps us now in the running here with jump number 8, Circumvent Live from the back, really powering through, jumping really well. Final furlong. It's all about the drive for the line now. Purple Searcher is currently being headed out. Doesn't look like we're making much of an effort to get back up and win. Circumvent Live fairly comfortably is going to take this at Leopardstown ahead of us. Katil Dance in third. And I'm very happy with that run. I'm very happy with that run. We got a lot right. We maybe got beaten by a better horse. Maybe we'll get better as we age up, and that wasn't just perfect in terms of jumping. Maybe distance was slightly off. Didn't seem to have a lot of punch at the end of the race. Just got beaten by a good closer. Who knows? But it's a big race with something to fight for. And we're right there. And that's all I need. That's all I need. There's interest, there's competition, there's something in each race. Yeah, didn't have the pace for most of the race, possibly suited. Trip suited perfectly, ground suited perfectly, ran well considering. So I think we're slightly off. But dang, we were close. So win and a second place there. 2 wins on Caracan. Currently a win and a second place on Dramster and Beanut Putter, respectively. Let's go forward a week. A couple of huge races there. I knew it was going to happen sooner or later. Okay. Chepstow. How did you treat Dramster? Not amazingly. Okay. Completely fell off at the end. Okay, so moving up to 2-5 didn't help us in that case. Really didn't help us. We went out early and then we dropped off. So I think sticking back to a 2-4 makes a lot of sense on Dramster. A toaster. I really want to say toaster, which is just so far wrong. But I think it is toaster. think it's Toaster. Or Toaster, I think. But my brain just wants to say Toaster. Yeah. Not a big race, this one. Just a normal one. But also, again, a horse I feel might take until 5 or 6 to come good. Maybe just needs to learn how to jump. But Peanut Butter with a decent first one. Takes ahead of the grey Caprice Barbillard. Mizea Promises, dropping back into the pack there. Protractor Spartan, Days Isaac, the King Dubai Rate, Compact Dharma, Bellamy Orbit, and then at the back, Tithcar Tennessee and Lumiere Faster there as well. So far, not too bad. We know it's not a great jumper, but we haven't seen anything supremely worrying. We still have a couple of lengths lead at the front, and other horses seem to be jumping a little more poorly than us at these early stages. Up to the halfway mark on the back stretch. A little over 6 furlongs left to run. Jump 7 of 10 approaching. And again, Compact Dharma coming up, and then Bad Jump falls back. Capice has had that as well. 3 furlongs. Couple more jumps to go. Only one horse on picture, and they are dropping back, and Peanut Butter has not jumped poorly at all. Here comes the field. Here comes the closers. A little too late. Peanut Butter will take this in some style, making up for that first poor run. And you know what? 2 races in for the 4-year-olds. And I've seen pretty much everything I need to see from them to get an idea of vague distances and qualities of these horses. I know Peanut Butter is going to be a good horse, but isn't a great jumper. Kind of know where they're at now, though. And that felt pretty impressive. So on the back of a good but not great run, that felt like an impressive kind of, second outing there to stamp their approval. Dramster, we saw what they can do. We moved up a furlong. That's not it. Need to keep back on there, but we've seen them run well. Purple Searcher, 2 really good ones. One in a, as higher class racer we're going to get as a 4-year-old. There's not too many better early season races than that juvenile grade 1 hurdle. And we were right in the mix. I feel really good. And then Caracan is 2 from 2, and including one that is a pretty solid race all on its own. So, yeah, those are our 4. That's where we're at. Breeding, like I say, we're just about to start up with Jury Ream, and that's our penultimate horse in the breeding barn. So, yeah, like I say, that should be done by March. But have your say comment section down below then. Caracan, Dramster, Peanut Butter, Purple Searcher. Who are these horses, or who are they connected to? Let's see if anybody's kind of figured all that out. I'm running the National Hunt Cup races, and especially the Triple Crown races. Who do we feel like could be something? So, we do have Cheltenham. We got some 4-year-old ups. Champions Hurdle, a little over 2. Is that a Purple Searcher kind of race? The mares hurdles are 2-4. Do we think Peanut Butter may be able to run that? I don't know. And then the Stayers hurdle at 3, I don't think we have any. Dramster's probably the stamina bar, but I don't think we have anybody. The Aintree hurdle at 2.5, again, we can run the Stayers hurdle at Aintree, exactly the same, 3 and 110 yards. And then 2-1, 2-2, especially a good place, pretty much for all our horses. Like 2, 2-2, 2-4, 2-1, 2-2. So we could probably send all 4 across these 4 races in some fashion. One of the fillies in the 1,000 guineas. Whoever the best horse out of the 3 in the 2,000 guineas. And then split the other 2 in the Dunkirk and the Monksfield. And they're going to have more of a challenge. Or save one for the next day where we got 2-1 for a Persian War. And if we want to get up to 2-7, if we jump in distance, maybe the Easterbrook is there. And then into June again, we've got some 4-year-old and up, as well as the 4-year-old only second leg of the Triple Crown, and 4 ups at Aintree with the third leg of the Triple Crowns. So who would run where? Looking at these races, where we've got who runs at Cheltenham, do you try anyone in these races? They're 4 and up. I don't know. And like I say, coming into the National Hunts, the 4 and up, do we run any in those? And the special focus being on the juvenile Triple Crown. Have your say. Excuse me. I don't know where that popped up. But have your say, comment section down below. What do you think of these horses? Where do we go with each of them? And we'll see. We'll see who's proved right over time. Right now, I mean, I'm biased because I know these horses and their lineages. If I were to guess right now after seeing them run, before seeing them run, I would have put money on Peanut Putter being the best. After seeing them run, Dramster would be my number 1, which is weird because Caracan, 2 wins out of 2. But knowing what I know and seeing what I just saw, I feel like Dramster actually has a shot to do something special. Caracan, Purple Searcher, close behind them. Peanut Putter, a little bit back. And I don't love that, so I want to see the horse do well. But I think that'll be early ranking. Dramster 1, Caracan 2, Purple Searcher 3, Peanut Putter 4. So let me know what you think, comment section down below. As always, like and subscribe. Road to 1,000. We're just chipping away bit by bit, day by day. We seem to be just gaining a little here and there. So we're definitely on the way. I really do appreciate the support. As always, check out the other playlists and the memberships available. I'll see you very soon. But I think that's a very promising start. A month and a half in, 2 runs for our 4-year-olds, a breeding barn that is well underway, and promise of more to come for next season and beyond. We're already stacking up some very good horses to run at 4, as these 4-year-olds get a good chance to run at 5, and at 6, and then beyond. So as long as we're keeping things in a similar way, and I think somewhere between 2 and 6 runners every season at each age group, I think doesn't get too complicated. We're not missing out on big races, and we're able to kind of target a little better depending on each horse's distances. That's going to play a part. But yeah, I hope you're here to see it. I hope you've enjoyed that start. Until next time, take care. all the very best. I'll see you soon. And just fingers crossed, because I think this could be special.